All right, bro. See you back.
Yeah, man. I accidentally closed something, I guess.
Yeah,
Now,
we good.
now I'm going through what I was going through last night.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you and see you just fine.
What did I do last night? There we go. I got it.
Yeah, you can go ahead and start it off, bro. Take us on the trip real quick.
Um, I was just I was just really wanting to pick up where we left off last night, and I was wanting to pinpoint that, but I didn't get all the way to the end. Did you? Did you? Were you able to do that?
What you mean get all the way to the end?
Um, no, I that's okay. I just I wanted to pick up where we left off, and I was kind of unsure exactly where we left off. But what about that video?
I do have that. I kind of want to just wait, let some people come in.
All right,
Who
that's
just
fine.
came on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was trying. I wanted to know for sure. How many states were affected in what way, and
Peace, peace.
there he is. What's up,
Hey,
brother? Peace.
what's good?
Chilling.
Good. Okay. So yeah, I came across this little information saying that it was 13 states that had trigger bans.
They had what?
Trigger bans.
What is that?
That's the initial um, uh, go into effect like immediately, and it's only 13 states, and I kept hearing like in the 20s, 20, 22, you know, uh, and all that. 16 states, and this that was interesting too. 16 states and DC currently have laws that protect deletion. So you still have 11 that have 11 that have severely or limited bans. I'm not sure what that means. So um, um, it's tricky to me. Um, and you still have what? That still leave another 11 more states um, that are untitled, I guess, not not knowing what's going on with them. I don't know. That kind of threw me. You know what I mean? It kind of threw me because um, just not sure where certain states stand on that. If they'll be like go to states or something like that for people that still want to exercise um, their rights.
I think people should be able to do what they want to. Uh,
Hmm.
but it's just a matter of being properly informed.
Yeah.
And if you're not informed properly, you don't you're not even making a sound decision.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's more important like what state you live in, what do they offer, even if that's something you got to deal with. You know what I mean? Like I don't think Missouri they know nonsense with it.
Yeah.
So they requiring people to have a better
Ma-
judgment about their decision making.
and that's another thing that I'm not sure on. Uh, Missouri, to my knowledge, at this point, Missouri is the only state that's just absolutely uh, no nonsense.
I'm wondering, is that because maybe they had the doors open so wide that they trying to clean it up and make it seem like they never had the issue? Because I know right around 2020, they all closed down. All the Planned Parenthoods closed down.
Hmm.
You know, and so uh, like I said, what I say is this whole situation. I call it roll your boat and ride the wave. Uh, that whole situation that came about is like we were saying is a distraction, and the more we dig into it, we seeing what it's a distraction from. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, indeed. What could it be from?
so it's something crazy in the background.
Quiet, quiet over here.
Might be upstairs.
Quiet.
Yeah, I think we can hear the TV,
Might be
but yeah. So we don't know, but we have an idea. We can trace a couple of steps. I don't think I don't know if there's enough women participating in that for it to be such a big conversation.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like out of 167 million, how many are actually participating in that? When there's only a million that get recorded a year
Hmm.
or so. But yet, like it's kind of like those who choose to go live a non-natural life. It's not as many as that choose to be natural. But yet we're having conversations about their lifestyle. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like, yeah. So I'm still convinced it's big business.
I'm super convinced. You know. And then one, you was talking about distractions, man. Let's look at what we have going on right now to be distracted from. What could we be distracted from? Uh, I heard the Mrs. Maxwell or the Miss Maxwell lady um, that's tied to Epstein and company. They wanted her to get 30 years. They pushing for her to get 30 years in prison.
Yeah. Like, how about this? Can that be connected? Can that be connected to the situation in some strange roundabout way?
Yeah, man, I like Freakonomics myself,
You know?
but I just thought I'd throw that out there because that was really big when the scamdemic jumped off. You know,
Yeah.
it was like I tuned in like, oh snap, and then it was scamdemic. So I'm like,
Like I would say too. If you think about like the things we were talking about earlier today, if these things were like possible and true, that what it would do to let's say a Christian mind who believes they're living life at a certain level, and but they participating unknowingly with things in their food or you know or even anyone that's in religious to realize that these things are even happening around them, how it would affect them to know, you know. the possibilities of using the waste product to 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 try to help with immunity to or had caused reactions in the immunity of people, like
Mhm.
and then the fact that what's happening to the young ones, how they are actually being the young ones are being treated and mistreated. You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of this stuff is it could cause people's minds to go a little haywire and lose faith in the system. So it's like what we got right now is I call damage repair. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can slow things down and clean things up without people knowing, and cause them to, like I said, magic trick. Look over here, and then when you look over here, they go
Smoke
fix
mirror.
shit over here.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? Um, yeah, it just seems more like that's it. You know.
Yeah. Um. Okay, but yeah, that's. I mean, I just threw that out there because I have been saying that since then. Another thing is you have this war going on, and
Yeah. That could be one of the places where they processing.
it could,
You
it's
know.
that could be something that could be distracted from to be distracted from
Yeah.
what's happening with that, what's happening with gas prices and a threat of recession. You know what I mean?
I think all of that's connected somehow, man.
That's all I'm saying. That's why I
Because
mentioned.
if it's funding, let's say if it's funding a lot to get that, then you change that ability to get that waste.
Right.
Meaning they can't manipulate the situation on other ends with the food or with with
Okay.
other medical and research and stuff like that
Yeah.
that's generating money. Then
Yeah.
of course we're gonna make it seem like a recession.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. And so you said did you say I remember you gave some information earlier or last night about how far back this you know the cell what therapy, if you will, goes back to like 1961 or something like that. 1960,
I may have said something about that.
when they came with the MRC5.
All right, let me look
You
that
know,
up real quick because I got it up here still.
yeah, if I'm not mistaken. So um uh, yeah, I checked out a company that you can actually purchase those cells from, and found out about one of the other diploid cells, the WI38, and that's used in the hokey preparation.
The Hokey McSmokey.
Yeah, and that's from a 3-month-old female embryo from the lung
Mm,
tissue, of a 3-month-old female embryo.
okay.
Okay, um, and also the, those can be bought to for about half a bando.
Mm,
So, what like you were thinking earlier, if that's the case, since it's such big business, and now they shutting that down, that's what I'm saying. If they shutting
yeah.
it, been going on for so long though,
It,
because
it, it could be it could be a part of it could be a part of the economy in a shadow type of way.
yeah, this company been rocking since the 20s.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
That has these sales that can be purchased by not for profit or research you know company,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? So if that's the case, so now I'm thinking, because I'm always first and foremost commerce, because again, I'm gonna say this as many times as I get the opportunity to. This world that we dealing with, this world that we all function in, operates in commerce. It's all about commerce. Everything is commerce in this country. And when I say everything, I mean everything. From the court to the schools, education to the prison penal system, whatever system, you name it. It's commerce. Everything's commerce. Everything's commerce. So what's up with the switch game?
Right.
You know what I mean?
What you mean? What's the switch game?
The switch game, like, so long, they've been this has been a thing, monetizing it, monetizing the waste products and whatnot, right?
Right.
The monetization of it. So what are the new developments to where this would be allowed? You know what I mean?
Okay.
That makes sense.
No, I'm kind of lost.
Okay. If it's such big business, then it don't make sense for the business to be shut down.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like some people putting in efforts to keep it going.
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, it's kind of like the dope game, except you got big gangsters that been family members, been doing this for years, brother. Yeah, I'm talking about years. And they've been and so let's look at some of the things that go in. Like I would say, what are some of the things that are go into perpetuating that without you knowing that it's being perpetuated? One would be sensationalizing sexuality.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Offering freedom uh of that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
So
then you throwing in behind it alcohol. You throw in behind it the do as the YOLO. You only live once
as much debauchery as possible, right?
as possible, and
Yeah.
just flood the airways with that. And then, like I said, once before, we're a country that is no longer thinking but feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So now we're feeling. We want to feel as much as we can.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that is being leads us to feeling that ultimate drug, which
Yeah.
is the smashing, you know what I'm saying, the
Yeah.
the, the bouncing of the bellies, you know what I'm saying. So you got alcohol. Now they allow uh the tree to become a part of that, and it loosens up our ability to control our sexual responsibility. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
then uh now you got the algorithms and devices that pretty much do thinking for you. So now you can enjoy leisure time. You know what I'm saying? And it take away the whole struggle of life. And
Whatever
now
you want
those,
to tune
huh?
into. Whatever you want to tune into.
Yeah, you could tune into now and then. Well, you don't have time to deal with certain things like that. So like some people fall victim to it and not ready for families and not ready for that. And so they like I think we was talking with somebody who said their friend had three of them.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, damn, you ain't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
Like, but no, what is this person's lifestyle like? That's the thing that I have to ask myself. What is your lifestyle like that you just can do that,
Yeah.
and not feel no shame? You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And so then that takes us to a whole nother level of mental illness. And one way to get that mental illness is to start drugs and sex early, drinking early. This way you're not even in a position to make sound decisions because your mental health is already gone.
Okay. So um going off of what you saying, that I'm looking at it from like all of the propaganda that will push that, like not porn industry, you know, movies, music, you know what I mean, sex sales, you know what I mean, and that's got to be like the same people who would profit from these byproducts from these procedures. Wouldn't they, you know, want to propagandize looseness and, you know, lewd activities? That makes sense.
Boundaries.
Everybody froze. So if I'm just, you know, this is just the way my mind works, and I get to doing my homework, or, you know, want to look up different things, look into different things. That's where I'm at. That's what I'm wanting to figure out. How is that all tied in, for one? Because I believe it is all tied in, because all of those aforementioned things make their big business. That's what they all have in common. They are big business, you know.
Right.
Whether it's Hollywood, or whether it's the small screen, you know, everyday TV, radio commercials, you know, you're gonna have some propaganda. You know, it's just 24/7. You know, the machine don't sleep ever. Right. And
Right.
yeah, so that's my thing, man. It's like a switch game.
Yeah, I agree with you, bro. So that's why I was like, I think almost everything that is dealing with no boundaries in our society is supporting that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Everything
Everything.
in our
Because it ties in, you know, sex, money, and drugs.
Yep. That
And
that explains why the music is that we listen to on a regular is just really uh pushing the lower vibrations.
yeah, man. Crazy Bone just came out in with a confession of how, you know, they wanted them to they wanted the rappers to promote, you know, the debauchery. It's how you're gonna get your bag. So that was a real thing. That was a real thing, man. And it's still going on. It's still going strong. You know, hip hop is at the head of the list, man, with the propaganda. You know what I mean? In terms, you know, when it comes to music, anyway, I'll say that. So what's up with the switch game? That's that's you know, I got that on my forehead, because it's a switch game, and it's something to it. Ain't you know, as far as I'm concerned, the only way I could be wrong is if the good guys struck a blow, whoever the good guys are.
So I think it's like what y'all was talking about yesterday when y'all was talking about following the bread. I think it kind of lines up with somebody ain't playing fair. So this is like some big wigs, dirty boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gonna let us.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, we gonna switch the deal over to where, I mean, because when I heard of the deal, like 5 questions came to mind, like right off the gate. Like, how does it affect humanity, right? What purpose does it serve? Who stands to gain or lose something?
Mm-hmm.
That's something to lose or gain, right?
Yeah.
This low vibration, high vibration, right?
Yeah.
It's a distraction. If so, a distraction from what, right? And then ultimately, what does it do, right? It takes us off from what we're supposed to be pursuing and moving towards. You know what I mean? It takes us from what we're supposed to be focused on, which is, recapturing what we moving towards. You know what I'm saying? And so as I was looking at that, I'm like, somebody ain't getting paid, because like what you saying was saying, they started first with the embargo, what you call it, holding up the tankers with the food.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when they did that, how was that viewed? That was viewed as an act of war by some countries. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if they viewing stuff like that as an act of war, what is going to be their recourse? How are they going to get back at them and let them know, yo, we don't play that, or, you know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of how I'm looking at this Supreme reversal deal. Like, somebody dirty boxing.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying? Because to me, it's like good for the humanity, right? Because now we're going to be focused on, when we go to procreate, we're going to procreate with a goal in mind. We ain't just, you know what I mean, busting off like we've been, right?
Mature adults.
Yeah. So that's going, like I was just speaking to, that's going to affect the whole process of them being able to make the adrenochrome. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
You know what I mean? So it's like, hold on, if that's going to be, like you said, that's been going on for so long. It's like, hey, hold on, that money been coming in for so long. That's dirty money. We ain't even start spending that money from the 30s yet. That money so long, and you talking about interrupting that flow?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm thinking, it's something that's right in front of our face that we looking right past. It's so heavy.
Always.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm on. Man, you just I'm not gonna touch that one yet. I'm not ready to touch that one.
Yeah, it's right in front of us, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
I want to play some of this video and just to throw some context into what we're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
And this will give us some extra to talk about. Let me see if I can get this up here for us. All right, here we go.
Oh, that one.
A lot of people want
Wow.
cards these days because they're looking for specific nodes, AB nodes, SA. I was like, wow, I didn't even know.
Director of Medical Service.
Yesterday was the first time she said people wanted lungs. And then, like I said, always as many attack livers as possible. People just want livers. People want lower extremities too, which that's simple. I mean, that's easy. I don't know what they're doing with it. I guess they want muscle.
Yeah, a dime a dozen.
Order form. What the hell?
I'm the medical director for the national office for all of the affiliates. So I say, okay, what are you looking to supply today? We've been very good at getting cards, lungs, liver.
It's been going on for years, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Every provider has had patients who want to donate their tissue, and they absolutely want to accommodate them. They just want to do it in a way that is not perceived as this clinic is selling tissue, this clinic is making money off of this.
Okay, so when you are or the affiliate is determining what that is monetary,
Yes.
so that it doesn't raise any question of this is what it's about. This is the main. What price range would you?
You know, I'm going to throw a number out. I would say it's probably anywhere from $30 to $100, depending on the facility and what's involved.
The $30 to $100 price, that's per specimen that we're talking
Per
about, right?
specimen.
Yeah.
Yes.
The $30 to $100 price, that's per specimen that we're talking
Per
about, right?
specimen.
Yeah.
Yes.
How much of a difference can it actually make if you know what kind of what's expected or what we need versus?
It makes a huge difference. I'd say a lot of people want liver, and for that reason, most providers put this case under ultrasound guidance, so they'll know where they're putting their forceps.
Let's pause that right quick. And did she say most people want the liver?
Yeah. And
What is it about? Huh?
And then where you paused it at, she said, and for that reason, most providers will blah blah blah, so they'll know where they're putting their forceps.
Right. So they don't want to destroy
Wow.
the meat that they trying to get. The tissue, let's call it the tissue. Let's use their terminology because they have a language that supports their actions that keep them safe. So yeah.
Man,
You know? So how far off are we? Like, are we just making stuff up? Or this is 2014. We years away from that. So is it are we making this stuff up, or is this something that's really who is buying them?
What was right now? What was this lady's name again? Dr. Something.
I didn't even catch it, man. I didn't even catch it the first time.
Yeah. I want to know if, I mean, you know, she should have faced some kind of prosecution after this video surfaced. You know what I mean? Investigation or something. Got all of. I want to see if I can find something out.
It's too big to fail. It's like Hydra. You cut off one head, two more pop up.
No
Man,
doubt.
come on.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, she'll get prosecuted. She probably won't say nothing.
Yeah, maybe.
Fine or whatever.
That should have been big news.
She probably
it was. You know when this came out? This started coming out in 2000.
Oh, that's why. That explains.
But let's go back to what we were saying. We so distracted that these things are going above our head and below our knees. We don't even see them sense them coming. And then the thing about it is they come up with stuff like row your boat and wade in the water. Situations that we beg for it. We beg for it, but not knowing that it's creating millions and billions of dollars on the back end for somebody else. See, money's a big motivator in this.
No doubt.
Yeah, see who you really loyal to when the circumstances change. Who or what, basically.
Right.
And yeah, you know, they got the law set up to where they can hide behind the law. So, you know, that's they're the creators of the law. So
that the other stuff can come out intact. Man. Yeah, so whatever. So where did this stop at? Where did this stop at?
It's so much on here, bro.
No, I mean not the video, but the situation. You said it was a big situation in 2000. 2000, I was I was in my low 20s, and I really didn't care at
Man,
all.
we was
I
just
was part of the problem.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
why was we part of the problem? Nature or nurture? Is it in our environment? Were we nurtured
Yeah.
towards it?
Yeah,
If
yeah,
our
yeah.
moms didn't have it and our dads didn't have it and they wasn't together giving us a better way of dealing with it, something else nurtured us towards that. The music.
Music.
I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind.
Yeah.
All of that. You know what I'm talking about?
Hollywood.
The club scene, no matter what, we always had Tree around. We always had some form of breaking the rules, something that kept us trying to figure out how to get to it, get her into it. She wants to do
Yeah.
trying to figure out a way to, bruh, it's
We wanted to be rude boys.
we want it to be, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. I'm gonna let some of this play because we don't need the words to play out. We could just read it. You see what I'm saying? I want to go to some parts in here where they were really breaking down what it looked like. All right, right here.
If we did do some time, she out now.
That was it. And I got an email back and I interviewed. And they don't even let you know in the interview what you're doing. She used to be a procurement tech and then she went and started her own business.
You see the look
And now
in
she's
her eye?
making a lot of money
Big money.
based off the poor girls who half the time don't even want to get abortions.
Mm.
It's a pretty...
And this is one thing they said too, that they really got these young ladies believing that they're donating these things, and they charge them for to perform the situation, and then they turn around, and as we're going to see here a little bit later, they have people who want to procure those situations in bits and pieces, and they charge them per bit and piece. Let me see
sick
if I can
company.
find it. Oh, there you go. There you go.
What I'm trying to offer to clinics is a procurement service, and she said, you know all about this.
Oh, we have already a relationship with
you-
ABR.
Oh, okay.
Boom. Are we seeing that?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man.
This is not me taking the time to put this together. Oh no, I ain't got time for this.
Right.
Somebody else put this together, and
Right.
it's there. You can see all that full term umbilical cord. Now this is look. This is where my mind going. How many babies are being born, and you getting full term and umbilical cords
For
attached
$2
to
For
attached
under
to the centers?
Yeah, for under $2 you can get
You
the
know what
whole-
I'm saying?
the whole demo.
Hey man, I'm just
Is
saying.
that the sort of thing you're doing?
It's a
Yeah.
startup.
Uh-huh.
So there's already a service there. I'm thinking with my
We've
business head that
been using them for over 10 years, a really
Okay.
long time. So I just kind of renegotiated the contract. They're doing the I can't remember what they call it, but the big collection for government level collections and things like that. So I'm trying to think of other providers in our town.
So I don't want to sound like a salesman here, but I'm going to. So we return a portion of our fees to the clinics.
Oh.
So just as a way of thank you for this, just trying to establish.
Right, get a toe.
Yes,
And then
yes.
make it sound.
Right.
All right.
They weren't looking for a compassionate individual at all. They were just looking for someone who could get as much money, as many samples. I think that's why they were interested in me as a phlebotomist, because I can draw quick. So I think that they looked at that and they wanted someone who could get the numbers up. The owner, Kate Dyer, she used to be a procurement tech, and then she went and started her own business. And now she's making a lot of money based off the poor girls who half the time don't even want to get abortions. it's a pretty sick company.
Okay, so I'd like, what would,
Now this right here is kind of sick, y'all. But check it out though.
what would you expect for intact tissue? What sort of compensation? What sort of?
Well, why don't you start by telling me what you're used to paying?
Okay, I don't think so. I would like to know what would make you happy. What would work for you?
Well, you know, in negotiations, the person who throws out the figure first is at a loss, right? So.
No, I don't look at it that way. I know you want to play that game. I get it, but no, I want
low ball because I'm used to low things from.
You know what? If you low ball, I'll act pleasantly surprised, and you'll know it's a low ball.
Okay.
What I want to know is what would work for you. Don't low ball it.
Okay.
Tell me what you.
Watch her face when she say it.
$75 a specimen.
Straight up.
For whatever we could procure, they would get a certain percentage. The main nurse was always trying to make sure that we got.
Come on, y'all. Y'all see what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Let me see if I can push a little further.
Someone come in with a bottle of something and there was blood in it. I'm like, okay. And then they went over to the sink and they emptied it out in a strainer and put it on the pie dish and lit it up. And I'm like looking like, what's going on? And my trainer comes over and she puts on gloves and she grabs some tweezers and she's picking the parts away from the vaginal tissue. And I've never had anxiety before this at all. So I'm looking and I don't know what's going on. I had no idea this was what was going to be happening, especially my first day. And she has tweezers and she's like, okay, well, this is the head, this is the arm, this is a leg. And then she hands them over. Like, oh, here you go. Can you show me some of the parts I just showed you? And I grabbed the tweezers. I'm like, because I didn't want to lose this job. I didn't know. I was already stoked to get it. So I did what she said. In the moment I took the tweezers, I put them in the dish. I remember grabbing a leg and I said, this is the leg. And the moment I picked it up, I could just feel like death and pain. Like I've never felt that before, like shoot up through my body. And I blacked out basically. They got the smelling salt. Woke up in the recovery room and looking around, I was really embarrassed, who faints to their first job. And when nurses looks at me, it's like, oh, you're new, huh? I'm like, yeah, don't worry, it still happens to a bunch of us. I'm like, really? It's like, yeah, some of us don't ever get over it. And I remember leaving that day, like, what have I got myself into?
So would you call that intact?
These are intact kidneys, okay. Yes. If somebody needed...
Because if I looked at that, I'd be like, that's good to go.
Oh, yeah.
That's like
Yeah. Yeah.
5 stars.
Yeah, you could start a neural cell culture from this neural tissue right here.
Like, would someone want that?
This?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Someone would definitely. This is definitely. This is neural tissue that people could take and look, and you see how it's still connected through the spinal cord back there. If you
we just send that all together, and they pick it up.
You could actually, yeah. Yeah, some people prefer that actually because it keeps it a little more protected. Yeah. That 11.6 was pretty good. There was there was like 3 or 4 samples we could have taken out of the 11.6, so that would be if we were doing like 50 to 75 per specimen, that would be like 200, 300, right? And we'd be comfortable with that. But like so it's like stuff like this, like we don't want to do like just a flat fee of like 200 and then it's like
no, and I think the per item thing works a little better just because we can see how much we can get out of it.
It's really just about if anyone were ever to ask them, well, what do you do for this $60. How can you justify that? Or are you basically just doing something completely egregious that you should be doing for free? I think for affiliates, the end of the day, they're a nonprofit. They just don't want to. They want to break even, and if they can do a little better than break even and do so in a way that seems reasonable, they're happy to do it.
So are these non-for-profit organizations that are hold on, y'all, I got y'all muted. Are these non-for-profit organizations that are doing this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tom, you got two. You came in twice.
Yeah, I know. Mute
And
one
they got
of them.
you doing something crazy.
At the theater.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with why he up there twice. Yeah, but these are non-for-profit organizations. That opens up that's a 501c3. That opens up a whole nother gate. You know what I'm saying? Of what's going on right now. Brandon, what up?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How's it going, Kings?
Man,
Peace, bro. Everything's good. How about you?
Awesome.
But hey, we just gonna keep it pushing so you can catch in where you get in where you fit in. We going through this video, and you get in where you fit in, bro.
I got you.
All right, we're gonna continue.
I think this is definitely to be continued.
Definitely.
Alter our process, and we are able to obtain intact fetal cadavers. It's all just a matter of line items.
State health investigators have served subpoenas for records at several Planned Parenthood offices in Texas.
Texas does have hard evidence showing Medicaid fraud as well as violations of federal and state law concerning abortion procedures.
Fox has exclusively obtained letters and documentation outlining the contractual arrangement between STEM Express, a top fetal tissue procurement company, and several abortion clinics, including 2 Planned Parenthood affiliates.
I mean, Planned Parenthood has volume.
Right.
Because they're a volume institution.
Right.
Another 50 livers a week.
A price per tissue payment. That informs me that we're talking about the sale of a part and not some reasonable cost.
We have independent colleagues who generate a fair amount of income doing this.
Panel chair Marsha Blackburn alleges the contract shows STEM Express was allowed to illegally review patients' most private medical and personal information in order to match them up with the daily orders STEM Express had for specific fetal organs and body parts.
The technician then goes to the woman, befriends her, and coerces her to give consent by lying to her, and this is a Planned Parenthood order consent form.
I agree, that's an inappropriate statement that should not have been made on that form. I don't know who wrote it. That would not have made it past my IRB either.
I'm grateful to the entire Planned Parenthood family.
Now we know she is a major, she deals with the whole, major. Can't hear you, bro. Can't hear you, Tommy. You're on mute.
Yeah, he muted himself.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, we rolling. Yeah, those non-for-profits, we already know. We don't even have to really speak on that. Everybody kind of should have an idea what's going on with that. But I don't know. Kind of goes back again to what we were saying. If you following the bread,
If you're following the money, this has got nothing to do with the choices that these women want to make with their bodies.
exactly.
It ain't got nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with what's happening to the waste. What are you doing with the trash?
Mm-hmm.
You know. So I want to go into one thing just to take a quick break, and that is dealing with let me see if I can find this real quick. I'm gonna see if I can bring this up on my screen for y'all to see. Make sure I'm in the right situation. Dealing with the let me go back because I want to make sure we all see what I'm coming from. Here we go. Let me bring this up right quick.
Tommy typed in what trash?
The waste product that comes from these deletions.
Right. Supposed to go. But you ain't there to watch it get disposed. Who's making sure it gets disposed?
Okay, so here's one cell that we can get into. And we can see that this is part of it too. And it is human embryonic kidney 293. Right? It is a specific immortalized cell line derived from the spontaneous miscarriage or aborted fetuses or human embryonic kidney cells grown in a tissue culture taken from a female fetus in 1973. I'm gonna try to paraphrase biological research, become reliable growth and what is that right there? Transfections. There's propensity for transfection. Let's look at that because that took me into a whole nother realm when I looked at that. So what is that? The process of deliberating, introducing naked or purified nucleides into what's that? Eukaryotes. Thank you. Eukaryote cells. And this is what they are organisms from whose cells have nuclei within. Okay, you can read that yourselves. So it also referred to methods and cell types that are although other terms often been preferred. Transformation is typically used to describe non-viral DNA transfer in bacteria and non-animal eukaryotic cells, including plant cells. So, transfection of what? Is that I mean, that's a question I had to ask myself. Is that, are you using that to supply not mine, but the individual cellular structure with cadaver cells that you are keeping alive? Okay, let me see if I can go back.
Yeah, we're trying to alter.
You trying to alter the cell, and now they're gonna give us some. So you got I'm trying to get to the usage of these things so we can start to break down how they extend into other areas of development and science and functionality of these things, right? They're not gonna let me. They kind of slowing my computer down now. whenever we start talking about certain things, we get these little glitches. I'm noticing that kind of take us out, to try to stall us out.
No.
Okay, so let's go back here. They're not allowing me to maneuver my system right now. But yeah, so here we go. Application. That's what I want to get into. The application of this HEK 293. Yeah, bear with me. Y'all can share your insights though until I can get this to come up.
Man, I'm learning. I'm sitting there reading this stuff.
Okay, so yours is actually, you can see it.
Yeah, I can see it. It's real small though. It's like super small print.
Yeah, I can see it too, but yeah, it's pretty small.
Okay, here we go. Applications.
I probably could blow it up. Yeah.
A lot of variants of that HEK 293.
Yep. Sales are straight. I mean, somebody else can read because I don't be reading out loud that good, but somebody else can read. I'll try to blow it up for you.
Which
the application.
Okay, it's small, but I got it. HEK.
Yeah, I can read it too. So
okay.
I got it kind of blew up on mine. So
all right. You got it.
Go ahead, bro.
All right, so check it. HEK 293 cells are straightforward to grow in culture and to trans fat. They have been used as hosts for gene expression. Typically, those experiments involve transfecting in a gene or combination of genes of interest and then analyzing the expressed protein. The widespread use of this cell line is due to its transfectability by various techniques, including calcium phosphate method, achieving efficiencies approaching 100%. Examples of such experiments include effects of a drug on sodium channels, inducible, RNA interference systems. What is that? Isoform, selective protein, kinase, agarose. I don't know if I pronounced that right.
Agonist.
Right, that KINASE. Interaction between two proteins, and the last one is nuclear export signal in a protein. Moving on to the next paragraph, HEK 293 cells were adapted to grow in suspension culture as opposed to proliferation on plastic plates in 1985. This enabled the growth of large amounts of recombinant adenovirus vectors. Adenovirus vectors.
Now that's what we need to look into. What is a vector? You know what I'm saying? Like all those highlighted words, they give us a deeper meaning of what we're getting into. That somebody can look that up on their computer because mine is acting weird. But if you can look that up, what is an adenoviral vector, and it'll give us more insight of what they're just telling us that what they are learning to do with this. But continue, bro. I was just,
All right. So continuing on, a more specific use of HEK 293 cells is in the propagation of adenoviral vectors, what we were just speaking on. Viruses offer an efficient means of delivering genes into cells. So I guess that would be just reading that sentence right there. The adenovirus vector that's you looking at what genes you want to enhance.
Gene therapy
or manipulation.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
before you begin, I looked into it. What I got from the website on NIH National Cancer Institute, it says one of the number of genetically engineered adenoviruses designed to insert a gene of interest into a eukaryotic cell where the gene of the interest is subsequently expressed. Unlike most other vectors, adenovirus vectors have the ability to infect host mitotic cells. Thus, these agents are especially useful for gene transfer into neuronal cells.
Gene therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at something. I'm looking at something that's Med Central. Said adenovirus vectors are the most commonly employed vector for cancer gene therapy. They are also used for gene therapy and as OKIs to express foreign antigens. Adenovirus vectors can be replication defective. Certain essential viral genes are deleted and replaced by a cassette that expresses a foreign therapeutic gene.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, continue, bro.
Continuing on, it says, which they evolved to do and are thus of great use as experimental tools. However, as pathogens, they also present a risk to the experimenter. This danger can be avoided by the use of viruses which lack key genes and which are thus unable to replicate after entering a cell. In order to propagate such viral vectors, a cell line that expresses the missing genes is required. Since HEK293 cells express a number of adenoviral genes, they can be used to propagate adenoviral vectors in which these genes, typically E1 and E3, are deleted, such as AdEasy. However, homologous recombination between the inserted cellular AD5 sequence and the vector sequence, although rare, can restore the replication capacity to the vector. We're going to be scientists before it's all over.
Right.
An important variant of this cell line is the 293T cell line. It contains the SV40 large T antigen that allows for episomal replication of transfected plasmids containing the SV40 origin of replication. This allows for amplification of transfected plasmids and extended temporal expression of desired gene products. HEK293 and especially HEK293T cells are commonly used for the production of various retroviral vectors. Various retroviral packaging cell lines are also based on these cells. So did you want me to keep going past that?
No. Yeah, you can if you can read it, but I want to kind of go down because there's a part where it says how I don't know if it's this one or the retroviral, but it's it's saying how they're using these gene therapies to create cancer in bodies, and also they use some of these to create the HIV-1 and HIV-2 in bodies, amongst other diseases. So I was trying to get to a point where I was researching so much that I can't even remember. I need to start writing it down because I get caught up in seeing so much.
Yeah. You got it
And I
right.
connect the dots in my head, but I can't give it to y'all to see yourselves. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just want to share that with y'all because, like, when I say that goes deeper than just us dealing with a woman's choice to do what she wants to. I mean, now we're not even talking about them. We're so far removed from them.
Yeah.
We're dealing with what the pharmaceutical companies are doing to make their money, and then what are they doing with these genes when they make them more immortalized, and they can put them in cultures to redevelop and make large batches of them. And we
Right.
also know that they introducing them into the cellular world. What is that doing to our bodies? It's having some effect on our bodies, which sends us to hospitals and send us to get treatments. And so now you got companies that are like the best cancer treatment company on the planet. And how is it that natural foods cause cancer? You see what I'm saying? Like, so now we opening up Pandora's box to say that there's a lot more going on. For why they're trying to push for people to say that they need this. Like, they having women to fight to say they need it, but not even understand what's happening to the waste product after it's being taken from them. Y'all following?
Food out of it too.
Say that again.
Yeah, food and misled into doing a lot of that.
I mean, honestly, man, most of the situations, I won't say most, but a lot of these situations, they probably don't care anyway, man, for real. They don't want to care. They don't want to know.
Yeah, that's where, like,
that goes all the way back to the first bill.
So that's just being taken advantage
Your
of.
responsibility, your purpose, and how it ties into your responsibility. If you don't think nothing of your purpose, then naturally your procreation is far removed from you.
To be honest with you, it's something that just hit me. How about this? It's not their responsibility to worry about the child like that, because we place the child in there and they do what they got to do and bring it back to us. You know what I'm saying? So is it their responsibility, or is it our responsibility not to plant that seed until we're ready and got someone who's willing to take it through the term, and stop blaming them for the choices they make? Because it's us dropping the seed, taking us back to raising our quality and our sexual responsibility and our purpose, dealing with our lives with integrity.
And our integrity. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? We standing on something. We take these approaches versus.
That's what I was speaking to, exactly. Yeah. That's
go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
That model. What model was that you operating from? Because we know that's what it is. You got a model. We know by the age of 12, you done developed the model already.
Yeah.
That model. What does it look like? You know what I'm saying? And that's part of it right there.
It looked like pimping on the rap video.
Yes, it's something that's not conducive to giving humanity momentum. We know that.
Yeah.
Slow us down. That's what we know for sure.
Yep. So I that's why I want to take a different approach than the talking points everybody's looking at, and we didn't even get to the whole morality of both the men and women making the decision to do what they're doing, and somebody figured out how to monetize that. You know what I'm saying? They monetize our wrong decisions.
About 100 years ago.
Question for you. Do you think this is related to stem cell?
That too.
I think it's all related, because we also saw a price tag for fully developed embryonic. Fully developed. What do you call that? The umbilical cords. So that means that they're going in there getting the umbilical cord, which is attached to the placenta, which is full of stem cells.
Nah. You can get an umbilical cord. You can get an umbilical cord from a live birth. Actually,
I'm going from the deletion process all the way to just full term. Like they taking that placenta and all of that and using all
you
of
gotta
that.
buy that. You have the option to buy that when you have babies.
Yeah, that's not something that's normally talked about, because we wouldn't even know what to do with it. You
got to pay an extra $10, $50, something like that. amount of money for a placenta, for her own placenta.
Yep. So, I think it's all connected. I'm just not seeing. I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing that being connected to the food shortage. How about that?
Well, with that stem cell, like I was in Rotary, and they had someone come down from that stem cell, and basically what they're doing, and I know you guys are familiar with it, where they will, for older gentlemen, they'll take that the parts of a baby and they put it in a younger person, and that allows them to be able to function and have the young be able to movement.
You saying an older person?
Yeah, they were advertising it to elderly individuals that are having knee complications.
Yeah,
they'll take the cartilage from that baby, and it'll last for only a certain amount of time. But for that time, that person will then be able to have more function of their knee and be able to walk better and all of that. So I can see how this would be a big market just on that little scope as far as that stem cell portion goes.
Yep. I saw. I was in this one class where they were teaching you public speaking, and one of the ladies had some type of spinal disease, and she would get stem cell shot in her spine that helped her live a normal life. Now, when you got that, you become, man, you're going after that bread. You know what I'm saying? You're going after that bread, and all you got to do is convince a group of people that they do not need certain faculties when they in the hospital. And it's big business, bro. It's all connected. Like I'm even seeing that, like it's put in some like it's if it causes certain pathogens in the body, that it could be put in food. That's what I'm seeing. That it's gonna go into the cells and it's gonna cause some issues, and you're gonna have to go see your doctor after so many years of eating that type of diet. And I see that. So it's affecting the food. Maybe that's why we got food shortages. We got the recession because that money's not being able to be shuffled around. There's not enough people making the decision to maybe or a lot of Planned Parenthoods have closed. So that's a lot of income being generated. And like we were saying earlier, if I'm not getting my money, I'm gonna have to affect you and where it hurts you and cause you some type of distress, because nothing make you feel better doing distress than a piece of pussy or some sex when you're stressed out. But yeah, that's just me trying to connect some dots. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right, but I could be wrong.
No, I wouldn't say you're wrong, because today that's what we operate from. We operate from outside of ourselves. Mostly we ask, well, what do you think? That's just right off. That's like our first nature to immediately want to know what someone else thinks instead of taking the time to see how it. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry about that, yeah.
Yeah, we immediately place value outside of ourselves instead of within. We don't look within for it. We look outside first, and then we go, well, I would. Well, what would you do first? Because we detach from our culture. We detach from who we are. We don't even like the skin we in. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So all of this stuff, it's to their agenda, I would say, because we so busy following and not taking the time to be the leaders that we naturally are. You know what I'm saying? We lost in the sauce. That's kind of why I'm thinking, well, if they was to stop the abortion deal like they doing, that's going to make people be more responsible. Like, that's going to slow their money flow down. The average thinker can see that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the more intellectual thinker is going to be like, yeah, it's more to it than that then. got to be more to it than that, because they haven't been wanting to be responsible with it. You know what I'm saying? The only thing they give us is abortion clinics. If they wanted us to be more responsible, then there would be more educational classes. You know what I'm saying? Reaching out to these youth, trying to teach them more about the human anatomy and how it works, and you know what I'm saying, when you should start wanting to start a family, and you know what I'm saying? You don't see a whole lot of that. You know what I'm saying? There are some. I'm not saying that it's not any, but I don't think it's enough for that talk going on.
Hold up. Check it out. B. My bad.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's all good. You know what I'm saying? This is what this forum is for us to express. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that just made me think about how, you know, we push to finish school. As soon as you get out of college, you get married, have kids in your 20s.
That was part of the American dream at one time, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
What is that now?
What is it now? You know
Like
what I mean?
they done took our heaven and put it out in space. Like our heaven is right here on Earth with us. But now everybody think heaven's up somewhere in space some damn where. You know, heaven is right here because everything you need is right here to live. So why would your heaven be removed? And your heaven is right here because your body yearns to heal itself every day. When you go to bed at night, what's your body doing? It's repairing itself.
Well, you know what, B, that takes me to another thing of like when they say, well, when is it a sign of life? If you get, like you said, the body's healing itself, that means on the cellular level, there's an intelligence that's perpetuating its life. So when we bust off, that life,
that's life.
That life is looking to find a way to do what it can to come out into this world and exist. So it starts it starts preparing itself in the womb, and it starts to double and grow. So at the moment it leaves us, like I would say, like they asked is when does it become alive? Is it coming out of a rock, or is it coming out of a live human being? If it's coming out of a live human being, it's alive at that moment of release.
No
It just has to go through the steps. It goes through process of development, and so that lets you know how far some of our minds will go into the body. Like we thinking until it gets a heartbeat, it's not living, because we're totally disconnected from the consciousness of our cellular world and the supremeness of our cellular world. Because without that cellular world, we could not arrange and organize our bodies to do what they're doing right now. See what I'm saying? So that comes from us. So it's like, even the more we talk about it, the more I'm seeing how we have to take more responsibility for that substance. That's liquid gold right there. Liquid gold, platinum, liquid diamonds, whatever you consider something to be of value, put liquid in front of it, and that's what's coming out of you. And without that, we cannot have we cannot have people continually be here. So it's not up to her to determine what that is. It's up to us to make better decisions on where we plant our seeds. You don't plant your seeds in a swamp unless you're trying to grow some swampy, foliage, but you want to get the best land you can get in order to achieve the best outcome, and so that's my approach to it, bro. Like, I'll still focus on us and take the focus off of them, because man, they loyal to their emotions, and this whole situation is an attack on their emotions.
Yeah, I agree. It's a per individual deal. It's not one sided. It's not female or male. It's both of us.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The consciousness has to be transparent. It's not just for one. Like yeah, we, like you're speaking to, the blood is the first part. You know what I'm saying? If the blood ain't flowing, then you don't have the erection to pass the fluid. You know what I'm saying? So we know all sex start with the erection. So, you know what I mean? Where does the erection come from? It comes from what the mind is stimulated from, right? So what stimulates you? Like, So we got to get into all of that. And I think that goes all the way back to what y'all spoke to in the first two builds about sexual responsibility and how purpose ties into all of that. You know what I'm saying? So everything that you said is just one of the steps that's needed, necessary, and required for us to recapture, you know, that what we're trying to recapture. And that's that, you know, making these seeds, you know what I'm saying, our priority, not from once they born, but even before we even give the seed, it should have a, you know what I mean, a certain level of integrity going with it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just, ooh, you look good to me, or, you know what I'm saying, I like the conversation we had, so yeah. You know what I'm saying? Nah, it's more conversation and it's more work to be done before we even get to that part. And we've been skipping a lot of them steps, jumping right to the sack. And then look up like, yeah, shit.
Don't spend no time vetting that girl.
Nah, you know what I'm saying?
Don't check where her mind is. Say that again.
You had the courtship after you get married. Now you want a quarter, go on date night, and nah, man, you did it backwards. You know what I'm saying?
We don't see how, like, we don't play mind games. And I know somebody say, why you gotta play mind games? They do. What I'm saying is we don't put them through tests to see how they can handle what is it, Tommy? Problem resolution. Is that what you called it? Conflict resolution. We don't see how they handle that. Do they go off the handle when shit happens? Do they break down and become super emotional to where they're no help for what you got going on at that time? Like, we don't do none of that. We don't look at what is her past like. Do she have a relationship with her father? You know, what kind of mother would she be based on the model that she had as a mother? Like that, our minds are not even on that. We jump into the child.
I'm sorry, bro. But I was just gonna add to that by saying all of that goes back to the conversation about health, right? Because how healthy are you in those situations? How healthy are you when you're angry? You know what I mean? Are you really distraught and just out of your mind, or are you calm, collected, even when you're angry? So it's like your health plays a role in everything. Like you just said, how healthy are you when you're happy and you're expressive? You know what I'm saying? Are you able to contain yourself, or are you just out splurging and just blowing your budget because you're so happy? I'm just so happy. You know what I mean? You're blowing your health. You know what I'm saying? We got to do all of these things, man. It's all a part of recapturing, you know, our destiny, you know what I'm saying, our fate, you know what I'm saying? All of these things, it revolves around our health and how we interact with our health. You know what I'm saying? And we don't take enough time to see what we like in these different environments. Most of the time we work hard at staying away from the environments that we don't care for. You know what I'm saying? And that's good to a certain degree, but it's bad for your health, if you get where I'm going. Because when that environment shows itself, you're not at your best. You know what I'm saying? You
run from it.
You get away from it. You know what I'm saying? And not experience it. And we know to be the best you have to face your fears. You can't run from your fears. You know what I'm saying?
We go to the gym and struggle to get our bodies in shape, but we won't go through the struggle it takes to get our spiritual bodies in shape, and emotional bodies in shape.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, you kind of might be lacking on models.
We definitely are.
You know,
models, but what are they doing for humanity though? They might be doing something good for you per se, helping you stay focused, you know what I mean? Keeping, you know what I'm saying, certain things in perspective, priorities right. But then what is it doing for humanity as well? You know what I'm saying? So like that's part of looking at your health. You know what I'm saying? We really gotta go back and look at what is the definition of health. You know what I'm saying?
Check this out, man. I just pulled something up. It's the fact sheet. It's the fact sheet of Planned Parenthood versus Center for Medical Progress. Right?
Progress?
Center for Medical Progress. Yeah, it starts out with the background. It says, for the past 8 months, Planned Parenthood has been the subject of a widely discredited video smear campaign by operatives from the Center for Medical Progress, making false and malicious accusations. Planned Parenthood filed a federal lawsuit outlining how the defendants engaged in a complex criminal enterprise to defraud Planned Parenthood and prevent the healthcare organization from providing preventative reproductive health services to millions of women and men. The lawsuit charges that the Center for Medical Progress, its leaders, and multiple co-conspirators engaged in illegal conduct that includes violating the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organization Act, aka the RICO, and engaging in wire fraud, mail fraud, invasion of privacy, illegal secret recording, and trespassing. In January, a Texas grand jury cleared Planned Parenthood of any wrongdoing while indicting David Daleiden on a felony charge. So that answered my questions about the videos. According to this, they were cleared of any wrongdoing after all those videos we just watched.
Who was cleared?
Planned Parenthood. Texas grand jury cleared Planned Parenthood of any wrongdoing.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. The court was
You know,
District Court, Northern District of California, plaintiffs, Planned Parenthood, Federation of America, Planned Parenthood, Shasta Diablo, DBA, Planned Parenthood, Northern California, Shasta Diablo.
that, you know what? Let's go. Let's continue with some of this right quick so we can see what it is that they were cleared of.
Welcome back to Hannity. So the sale of aborted fetuses by Planned Parenthood may not only be the only wrongdoing uncovered by the Center for Medical Progress. In fact, a high-ranking Planned Parenthood doctor was also caught on tape discussing her potential compliance with some pretty unethical practices involving patients receiving abortions. Now, please be advised that the video we're showing is extremely graphic. It's disturbing. You don't want your children watching. Ready? Watch this.
If our usual technique is suction at 10 to 12 weeks, and we switch to using an iPass or something with less suction in order to increase the odds that will come out as an intact specimen, then we're kind of violating the protocol that says to the patient, we're not doing anything different in our care of you. And to me, that's a kind of a specious little argument, and I wouldn't object to asking Ian, who's our surgeon that does the cases, to use an iPass at that gestation age in order to increase the odds that he was going to get an intact specimen. But I do need to throw it out there as a concern, because the patient is signing something and we're signing something saying we're not changing anything in the way we're managing you just because we agreed to give tissue.
Pretty grotesque. Joining me now, the man behind the new campaign that's exposing Planned Parenthood's unethical behavior from the Center for Medical Progress, David Daleiden is with us. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good, Sean. How are you?
Well, that's the guy.
I mean, I watched this. Not only in both tapes are they basically saying, well, the law is up to interpretation, and they pretty much are acknowledging that they know it's against the law. Then they're quibbling over prices. Then they're talking about wanting to buy Lamborghinis. Then they're talking about how they do it so that they don't ruin the specimens and crushing this part of the baby and not that part of the baby. Walk us through the history of how you got into this and what your take is.
Sure. So for the past 2.5 years, the Center for Medical Progress conducted a long-term, in-depth, comprehensive investigative journalism study of how exactly Planned Parenthood harvests and sells the body parts from the babies that they abort. And this is something that Planned Parenthood has been doing for decades at this point. It's something that, by their own admission in their press statements, that for the past week, that their top-level leadership supports and knows is going on. They've admitted that they harvest the specimens, and they've admitted that they receive payment for it in exchange for those specimens. Really, the only bone of contention that's left is whether or not they receive a financial benefit from those payments and exactly how much the profit is.
Okay, so is it safe to say that they can control people in, the court systems? Is it safe to say that they can do that with that type of influence? They've been doing it for decades. They might get you just the right stem cells you need in order to keep you functioning properly. I digress. I just wanted to throw that in there.
But as you can start to see in the video that we released yesterday, the Dr. Gatter, the president of Planned Parenthood's Medical Directors Council, admits that they really don't have any costs and don't have to do anything when they harvest the specimens. So the money that they're getting is straight up profit to their bottom line.
All right. Now, their claim at Planned Parenthood is that, oh, this is all heavily edited. Explain the context of each tape that you released and how long you had taped them, and are there more tapes coming out?
Sure. So for the 2 summary videos that we've released so far, the full unedited footage of those conversations has been available on our YouTube channel from the very beginning, so the public can judge for themselves the accuracy of the summaries that we put up of just the highlights. Ultimately, these are 1 to 3.5 hour long conversations. So again, it's all very interesting, and frankly, there's information in there that we have to leave out for time reasons that that I think just continues to confirm our case. So the full conversations are up there, and everybody can look at those and get more information.
Well, I didn't see anything from what I read and what I saw that it was taken out of context. This was in the proper context that you released it. It wasn't, if you're releasing the full tape, as you said, everyone can watch it if they want to spend the time. How many hours total did you tape?
We probably have hundreds to even thousands of hours total of videotape over the past 2.5 years. Of the really, really shocking, compelling stuff, we've probably got dozens upon dozens of hours, and that'll be continue to be released in the days and months to come.
Now, so we're going to see tape after tape after tape as bad as the 2 that we've already seen, or worse?
Exactly, even worse.
All right, so let's talk about the funding. $500 million a year, taxpayer dollars. It's now, we've got, what, 3 separate investigations, 7 separate states looking into Planned Parenthood. Ultimately, what would you like to have happen?
Ultimately, I think that the public is seeing this information, and the public is pretty outraged. There's already over 2.5 million YouTube views on the first video that we posted last week, and the second one is starting to climb up there. People are responding with a lot of shock and a lot of disgust at the fact that Planned Parenthood is harvesting and selling the body parts from aborted babies, and doing so all the way with $500 million taxpayer dollars every single year. So there needs to be an immediate moratorium on all of Planned Parenthood's public funding. And then that needs to be pending the results of the 3 congressional investigations and the multiple, I think there might be 8 now, state investigations that are going on.
It's against the law to harvest organs this way. It's against the law to perform abortions specifically designed to protect the lungs, the heart, or the liver. Do you expect by the time all is said and done that there's going to be some indictments of some of these people?
I certainly hope that Planned Parenthood is held accountable to every single law that they're breaking in the course of this kind of activity, these real atrocities against humanity of selling the body parts and using partial birth abortions to do so. And I think that their top-level people, their medical directors, their executives, both at the national level and all across the country, are going to have a lot of explaining to do once everything is said and done.
Explain your motivation. Why did you decide to undertake this investigative report on Planned Parenthood?
We did this because Planned Parenthood has been harvesting and selling the body parts from the abortions that they commit for decades now. And no one has held them accountable. They've held themselves above the law, and this is something that is offensive to the American public. It's offensive to us as human beings. It violates human dignity, and it needs to stop.
All right. It's grotesque. It's gruesome, and I am glad that you were able to expose this. We'll be waiting for the next tapes to be revealed. Thank you, sir, for being with us.
Thank you, sir.
Check this out, bro.
Yes, sir.
So this is what I came up with. That guy right there just speaking.
Yeah.
So he was I guess he was trying to be a good guy, right? Would you agree?
Okay.
So in September of 2019, criminal hearing, Planned Parenthood and others affected by his videos initiated a civil jury trial in federal court against him and Merritt. Who is Merritt? I didn't save that name, but it's somebody else by the name of Merritt, last name Merritt. was that? They took them to court. Okay. A verdict awarded the plaintiffs, who was the Planned Parenthood, people from Planned Parenthood, more than $2.2 million on November 16, 2019. And the Layden was instructed to pay $500,000 in compensatory damages, most of which will be tripled under federal racketeering law, as well as $870,000 in punitive damages to Planned Parenthood. The Thomas More Society has appealed the civil judgment on behalf of the Layden. So yeah, he got taxed after making that video.
Can't hear you, B. You're on mute.
I said, which would make sense because they all in bed together.
But I'm saying, like, oh, that answered my question earlier. I was like, what happened to him? Absolutely nothing happened to him. Right. They got paid.
Yeah.
God bless America.
You know, when you reward nonsense, it's hard to put a value to things that are of some type of quality. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly.
You said what morality is.
Mm-hmm.
They got, like you said earlier, when you got control of it, when you running the gambit, that's what it is. They telling us how to feel, what to feel for, and when to feel.
Right.
They control that narrative. So they decide what's morale, what's immoral. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Feed it to us.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so imagine the court systems can convict the accuser of shedding light on heinous acts. And you know, what's that gonna do to the mind of a person who falls, you know what I'm trying to say,
who's victim to it.
Yeah, and people who's watching the situation go down, it now makes it okay for that situation to happen because, well, how do you even justify him having to pay these things when it's them saying what they were doing and how they worded it? Like look at what it does to the mind to even have some type of you know what I'm saying? Like for you to go against what is considered right, and now you're taking it as a wrong act. For what reason? Like, what does that do to the mind? So that's just wicked, man. It's wicked on multiple levels, bro.
Yeah, it is. Perfect example I'm seeing of it. You seen the new IP Man 4?
With Tyson?
Nah, it's another one. Another one that just came out.
I have not.
Yeah, they got like a young version of IP when he was in school. And basically he goes from Foshan to, I can't remember the name of the little town where he go to school at. But while he's there, he witnesses this group of girls basically being taken, against their will. So he goes to help them. Boom. That little scuffle was nothing. He help them out. The girls get away. It goes to happen again, right? But before it happens, he's already in a little scuffle with these other little riffraff cats, right? And so he gets help from another guy in the neighborhood, right? And as they going back to the crib or whatever, they notice some more girls getting taken, right? And so IP is going, he's like, oh man, we got to go help him. So the dude that helped him is like, nah, man, it's useless. We help them, then we'll turn around and need help. So that speaks to like what you were saying. It's like, on one hand here, you see what's right. You know right from wrong, right? But now I'm seeing these guys is too big to fail. You know what I'm saying? Because they can take the girls and even the police can't stop them. So, but I know right from wrong, and I know that's wrong. But I know if I go and try to do something, then my whole world is just, now I'm over with. And that's exactly what you're speaking to. It's like the victim sees the injustice going on, but it's like, I can't stand up and do nothing about it because they too big to fail. Even the authorities bow down to them. So it's like, I'm gonna stay in my little area, in my little lane, and have my little bit of peace. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of the rigmarole that we in. It's like, you got a small group of us that's like, to hell with that. We need to take a stand, because if we don't, we're gonna keep on getting smacked around. But then you got the other 80% of us that's like, yeah, I hear you, brother, but I'm gonna keep on, keeping my head down, telling my kids to do this away instead of that away, because in the end, they can go to bed and wake up, and I ain't got to worry about nobody coming put no extra tax on us. I ain't got to worry about my comfort level being questioned. I can be easy, and that's what we up against. You know what I'm saying? We up against that group of people that don't want to come out of that comfort zone. And then you got us small group of people that's like, yo, we don't care. We'll take the groups of beatings if that's what's necessary.
Oh, shoot.
Not going to just line up for these beatings if y'all going to keep on doing the same thing and leave us to fall by the wayside. It's like, we got to attack it from a whole nother perspective, a whole nother approach. And that approach is going back, looking at the model, becoming deep thinkers, and rubbing off on the rest of us, so we all can become deep thinkers and become the individual leaders that we need to be, so we can walk this dog and recapture, our land, our humanity, and our family structures. There's a lot that's at stake here. Our educational system, it's a lot that's at stake,
Yep.
No doubt.
I agree, man. I agree. We had somebody type in the comment section. Says Double O Diva. This world is so damaged, so much confusion, and when you see religious groups upset about the overturn versus those religious groups that see it as a victory, is sad. So who is compromising? And then she says, anyways, it will be something to watch, but overall, yes, we need to be more responsible as individuals having sex. Having morals is not as important as it used to be. I do believe it's much bigger than we know. Thanks, guys. Yep.
Right.
Double O Diva.
So that's I think that's that's good that we getting people that to hear it and see what we're saying, and we can show light on it, and we can actually put it in a perspective that's not blaming. It's not blaming anyone or taking anyone's belief of what they have a right to do, but we actually saying what we should be doing as men and how we should be governing ourselves, because that can eliminate a lot of those decisions from having to be made in the first place. And it also, like, that's in my opinion, y'all tell me what y'all think, that's one way we can build our community by being better men.
Yeah, that's like killing two birds with one. Because if we as men stop and think and stop just wasting our energy, let's just say that, right? That's going to crumble the whole ability of them being able to take the cells and live whatever's embryos and do that. Whole business will stop. We really got control of that. We can stop that whole business of them getting those cells.
100%.
All of that, bro. We can shut that whole business down.
100%.
We don't see that. You know what I'm saying? We removed ourselves from the equation, like we don't matter.
Yeah.
But we very much so matter. You know what I'm saying? Because just like that, we can stop that. All we got to do is stop like you said, think. Just think about it before you do it. Just stop and think about what you're about to do, and boom. You know what I'm saying? We can shut that down like overnight in 3 weeks. That can be over with. Type of year could be eradicated all across the world. We'll be in control of it. It's like, nah, I ain't letting it off because I'm about to make the next world leaders, because I'm gonna have twins, or you know what I'm saying, whatever your set is, you know what I'm saying, and I'm gonna wait till I get it all right, and whatever preparation you feel like you need to take, boom, that's what's about to happen.
Mhm.
And all of that other miscellaneous will be done with.
Mhm.
Because, like I said, sex can't happen without the erection. Other than that, it's just us fondling each other. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if we got the blood in check and we got both heads in check, the big head is thinking and the small head is following. You know what I'm saying? There it is.
Yeah, and that takes me back to dealing with our senses. The more we put those two things in check, our senses can now perceive the world and gather that energy we need without even having to go into the gross level. You know, I had a homie of mine say he went out the other night and what he was cool because he was able to deal with ladies without, you know, without
Looking at them
level. Yeah, and he still got the same energy from them, and he felt gratified. He said he thought maybe it's because I'm getting older. Like it's something you can do when you're young too. It just we don't have nobody teaching us how to calm that emotional water down and that mental water down, so we can perceive life through that mind and emotion at a high sensory level. You know what I'm saying? So we can gather that energy and that dialogue. So yeah.
Goes back to the two lions. Remember, I asked you about the two lions. Why does the young lion feel like he got to take over the old lion? Why don't he feel like he can become his companion? You know, and why come we can't work together? Why I got to knock you out the box? That's an age-old question to be asked. Some maybe can come with an answer, but that's like it's still out there, like because it happens, like. Even here in our own communities, when we put up a store next to another store, it's not to build up, it's to beat them out. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I'm about to open up the store next to you. I'm gonna sell better than you. I'm gonna do this better than you. It's not to, you know, help empower. It's to take over. Why are we such competitors against one another?
It's the American way.
From what? You know what I mean? Still got to answer that question. Where does it all come from? Like, it's hard. It's hardcore. Why are we such barbarians? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the American way, man. Take over.
Yeah. You know, I like a good challenge, but I don't live for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I would say this competition do make you bring out your best, but when you don't have morals and values attached to the structure of the competition, you lose yourself to narcissistic behavior, people, you know, psychopathic people, because now they can't lose. They have to win. You know,
Yeah.
losing is where a lot of lessons come in, and I take that from the Chinese in their concept. They will lose till there's no more losing to be done, and then they win it because you just can't beat them. They lost too much. They can see clear how to win.
That goes back to another build you had talking about the blood and trauma. Trauma sticks more so than me telling you about it. If you go through some traumatic situation, you're gonna learn from that faster than me telling you, man.
Real talk.
Go around there after 10:30 but if you just so happen to go around there after 10:30 and get some traumatic experience happen to you, you're gonna remember from that point forward. Oh yeah, what time is it?
I told you, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
trauma almost trumps anything when it comes to experience and learning the lesson. You know what I'm saying?
You can suffer for something good, or you can just suffer. And I'd rather suffer for a lesson to be learned that'll make me better than just to be going through some nonsense. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And that's what I think that's for me, that's where senseless competition becomes. You're going through a bunch of suffering for nothing. But you come out on the other end of your suffering, you learn lessons that the person who ain't never suffered before, they won't understand. Because you got something out of it. You suffer for that great moment that you're striving for. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But fellas, it's getting late, and I'm starting to feel a little sleepy. I can feel me starting to say my brain starting to think of some crazy shit.
Ready to get to that lucid dreaming.
Yeah, I already know, man. I'm ready. Yeah. But as usual, our builds are on point, man. We do need to build our audience up because what we're saying is definitely important. Maybe we need to enjoy ourselves more on these calls and become more planned somewhat, so we can have a little bit more fun and bring some of the ladies up to deal with the type of men that we are striving to be, so they can see what it's like for men to be pushing themselves forward. What y'all think?
Yeah,
like that.
Like that too. I think also in our format, we should have like a couple seconds or minutes where we talk about we'll do something like a commercial. We'll just talk about something off topic.
Yeah. That I'll agree too, man.
Yeah.
Maybe even put a little humor, every now and then have a little competition where we challenging each other's point of view to strengthen it, in the manner of like sometimes how Tommy be doing me.
Yeah, I was about to say I do that already.
Yeah, so how does that work? How do you do? We need to push that more, man, because sometimes we can get too caught up in delivering that message, and we this is how we think, direct and firm, that the world ain't mine ain't gonna be able to deal with it like we are. We gotta ease them into spending time with us on these videos.
Yeah, we also got to remember we connected. Like we've been friends for over 10 years. So
20 years. What do you mean? 20, 30 years.
A lot of stuff is communicated between us without words. Like we can just say a few things and I'll pick up on your train of thought and everything else is expressed through that. So that's, I think, another step that we could take too, being more articulate in how we express. Like basically like what you just said, help us challenge one another's point of view so it could be a little bit more clear. So yeah, definitely.
Yes, sir. So it seems like we got some more people that jumped on.
And so I think we should put in stone, how we gonna do our build. So then that way I could get more listeners tuned in and figure out what their schedules is like.
I mean, I'm going to do at least 2 to 3 a week.
Yeah, I'm with whatever.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm pretty sure Sunday nights is always good for everybody. Sunday, Wednesday, you know what I'm saying? Or Sunday, Tuesday, Fridays and Saturdays, we try to do stuff with the fams and stuff like that. So I'm cool with Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday for sure. And if we some breaking news come up, we need to go ahead and put that in. And I also like our approach, man. Like, yeah, the stuff is out there that's the algorithms want us to talk about certain things a certain way. I appreciate how we open up Pandora's box and be like, nah, we're not. Y'all want us to go left, we're going right. Y'all want us to go right, we're going left. Damn it, what's over here? I like that approach because now we can have a well-rounded view of the situation, like how we chose to deal with, this row your boat and wade in the water. You know what I'm saying? So it allows us to crack open a whole nother realm of thought. That's what brings us to being better men right now, is because we understand that, hey, if we are on point, everything comes after the one. Yes, sir.
No doubt.
So
Sure.
what's today? Sunday. We're gonna pick up Tuesday. We're gonna be on another show Tuesday.
Yep.
Tuesday is studio. Tuesdays and Saturdays is studio day. So, what time?
Well, we can switch it up to Tuesday, Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? And
I mean, I'm just saying
we go from Tuesday to Wednesday.
we do Tuesday studio about 7,
Yep.
and Saturday about the same time, 7.
Yeah, and sometimes y'all can be in there till 10 o'clock easy.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. We can do like a Sunday, Wednesday, and maybe a Friday. You know what I'm saying? And if ain't nobody going out, you know what I'm saying? Even if you are going out, the other two can get on here and build. We can we start to put some more we put our topics together a couple of days before. Like tomorrow we should be coming up with new topics to let everybody do their research on, because we want to go deep.
Yeah, I kind of want to have a face-to-face with y'all on that. I kind of would like to do that face-to-face.
Yeah. I'm that's cool.
But
Now,
if time don't permit, then we just have to do it best way we can. But
yeah,
I like to do it like that.
No doubt. Yeah, we need to start getting more people on the panel too, because we need that other insight.
Yeah, we need as much energy as we can get.
Yeah, so because everybody don't think like us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Build the community. We're trying to get the network. We're trying to get the network built up, so everybody bring topics. So that's a topic you bring. We're gonna discuss with you. It's your show tonight. If Tommy bring one, it's his show. We just supporting Kaz. You know what I'm saying? When I bring one, it's my show. Y'all supporting Kaz. That way we can get used to stretching ourselves out, and maybe even, I think start doing like workout sessions, or just different builds, so we can continue to run this every 3 or 4 times a week and get us a nice network up.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. More facets of it.
Yeah. So we can, like me and Tommy gonna start doing we're gonna start doing lives at the barbershop, because we be having some crazy conversations at the barbershop, and they definitely not for kids. But yeah, we like to do that. Like we got First Friday coming up, so we're gonna probably record live First Friday. We also got a connection with Gary Steele, ex-Chiefs player. He wants to do on the first. He's coming in to do a live interview with us. So we're gonna start pushing the envelope like that too. Just get different stuff going in from the shop until these are our night bills, so we want to get the day bills too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and start getting stuff so I can get the Midwest mouth off too. That'll be a perfect segue. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And we just hit them off from both ends.
Yep.
They come on your channel, then they can segue over into the Midwest mouth.
Yep. 100%. Yes, sir.
That's what's up. Let's go.
All right. Well, shit, fellas, let's go on and call it a night, and we'll link up.
Sounds like a plan.
Link up Wednesday. Get ready. Bust your head open.
Word up.
All right, fellas. One love.
Yeah, I got something for us to build on. So.
Yep. Yeah. We need copies.
Definitely.
All right.
All right, fellas.
Peace.
Peace.